Hello everybody, welcome to 1v1, the creator interview series where we celebrate content creators and what they do on the internet. I am your host, Corey Deering, and alongside me is the streaming queen,
ZombaeKillz.
ZombaeKillz. Yay, Zombie. You are very popular when I ask for questions, you know that?
Thank you.
Yeah, so we...
You feel good.
Zombie, you and I met on Mixer playing some games, and we've kind of been friends ever since, so we wanted to have you on. I've been wanting to get you on the show for a couple months now, but you know, we've kind of had scheduling conflicts and more of me just short asking you like not a couple days ahead of time or a week ahead of time. It's been more like an hour ahead of time. So
we work with what we got.
Yeah, it happens. So what if for people who are listening to us for the first time, who are you and what do you do? What kind of content do you create? What is your internet life besides Animal Crossing?
Yeah. I have thankfully only touched my Animal Crossing for like an hour to 2 hours a day now, so I just want to say really cut back. But I'm ZombaeKillz. I stream on Mixer, and I've recently started diversifying my content now to also include streaming on Twitch. I am part of a stream duo called the Sugar and Spice, and we have a community called the Snack Squad, which are all of our people, which you are part of. My content's pretty varied. I am the spice of the group for a reason. Variety is the spice of life. I like to play all kinds of things. Animal Crossing is a current addiction. I do GTA RP. I play games you've never heard of, and I love dating sims. So I can be a real mixed bag. It's just
I was gonna say you play some dating sims that people probably never heard of.
Never heard of.
I remember the first time you ever on one of our shows, you were playing that pimp game or whatever.
Honeycomb Studios, where I was a pimp. It was a fantastic game. Playing through it when I finally got to beat it, because it was actually really hard, was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I mean, but I play a lot of different games, so my content's pretty varied. Right now I'm more towards Animal Crossing, Ark. My 4 current games are Animal Crossing, Ark, Minecraft, and a lot of GTA RP.
Nice. What are you doing in GTA? What kind of role playing? Does it vary? Does it you have a squad that you roll with that you just do?
BattleBug is there, of course. All the major players. Inchily is there. BattleBug is my assistant. So my character's name is Z Winters, attorney at law. I went to the South Jersey Online School of Law. We're both lawyers. We're new in town. Sophie is amazing. She's my cousin. And she's a paralegal who has dreams of being an actress.
Nice.
And so we are criminal defense attorneys in the city that we're currently on.
So what do you guys do? What do you do? Do you just like drive around and have conversations in the car? You guys like go to lunch? You guys
we
play
go defend people based on the penal code law that's been laid out for the city against like the police, etc. So if someone's arrested, we go and I'm their attorney. And we have to take like a little bar exam and everything. Like,
really?
It's like a whole thing.
I see. Like the GTA role playing community is just kind of like that's a side of gaming that I have no idea how it works or what's happening over there. It's just kind of like it's out there. Like I just like.
It's so intense.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's fun to watch. Like I just. The rules that are actually like in place for the role playing stuff it's
serious. If you've never done RP before, it's definitely something that can be very like intense to tackle. You know what I'm saying? Like if you've never RP'd and you jump in, it's just like, what the heck is going on here? And sometimes you get caught up in like role playing with people, and you have no idea where it's going to go ever at any given moment. So that's also real sketchy when you're streaming. So they put a lot of rules in place. But when I tell you some of my best times in gaming have been in RP, I mean, we get into some shenanigans. Most of them are not safe for work.
Well,
all of
GTA, I really believe that part of it. to be honest. So, but yeah, so, streaming, something that I haven't done in a while.
Cough.
Yeah.
Ghost Town over on your channel, sir.
I know.
Ghost Town.
I know. I've been building Boss Rush. I've been trying to build up Boss Rush, and it just hasn't.
Facts. You've been killing it. Just gonna say you've been killing it.
We got some really exciting information the other day.
Number 17, right? Number 17.
Yeah, our Xbox podcast, Arsenal X, was ranked number 17. The number 17th podcast you should be looking at.
That's amazing.
On in 2020, and our Nintendo podcast was ranked 30th. So I was pretty happy with that. So
heck yeah, that's amazing.
We try. We do a lot, during the week and on the weekends and everything. Like it's almost like a second job, almost. But you have
content
to.
Creation is a second. For some people it's a second. For some people it's the first.
Yeah, and we're just trying to get to that place where we can kind of find a little bit more success. But that's why we're kind of doing a lot and seeing what sticks. And some stuff doesn't stick, some stuff does. And the stuff that sticks is really sticking. It's exciting, and that that's why 1v1 exists too. Is like this show is a lot of people like these 1v1s, and they want to see who else is out there that maybe they don't know. And that's kind of, we have a lot of people that have helped us along the way too, and it's like kind of giving back in a small way of getting other people's names out there who, maybe
checking in with the fam you started with.
Yeah. So, it's a lot of work. It's been a lot of work, but we've come to a place where we kind of feel like we are on the right path for success, and Ed and Jesse do a lot of great things, and this is just another one of those things to work on. But this 1v1 isn't about me. I already did mine. We already got that one out of the way. This one's about you. We're gonna start with some starter questions. I've pulled a lot of questions from the community, a lot, and when I say a lot, there's probably about 15 questions here at least. Some of them are from me, I'm not gonna lie, but a lot of them are from our community who have found their way to you in one way or another. So, what was the first game that you remember playing? What was the first game that you really started playing and kind of loved?
Burger Time. That just shows you how old I am, though. On the Atari.
Yeah.
On the Atari. That was the first game I ever played.
My first game was on the Atari too. It was a Kaboom, and it was just this little guy throwing bombs off a building, and you had this little bucket, and you had to catch the bombs before they hit the ground.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I remember that, and Combat and Burger Time.
Burger Time was my jams. I played it like nonstop.
Yeah, it's quite a game. I miss those simple kind of, just simple games, and I know a lot of those have been regulated to phones and stuff, but like, give me some Burger Time. Where's Burger Time 2 at?
Didn't they just redo Burger Time?
Did they?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't know.
For the Switch, I think.
Did they?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Are you sure you're not talking about Overcooked?
No, I love Overcooked. It's so fun. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they just did Burger Time for the Switch.
Huh.
Hold on, let's go. Burger Time.
See, I just typed in Burger Time, and there's a restaurant by me called Burger Time. So that's what it pulled up for me. So, yeah.
Burger Time Party for the Nintendo Switch.
Oh, there it is, right there.
Yep.
Wow. That's
yeah.
I need to look into this.
Yeah. Yeah, they've brought some of the cool things back, and then of course, with the Switch you can always play like your retro games on it, so it's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's basically, I use my Switch for like, I try to play what I can, obviously, on Switch because we have a Nintendo podcast and I need to do my job, but mostly for long term, play sessions. It's mostly just Nintendo games and indies and
Yeah.
retro stuff. So, but we have our first question from our community, Todd Oxtra from the Secret Friends Unite podcast and the Co-op Mode gaming podcast. You should go check him out. He's a great dude. We're actually having him on Nintendo Power Block this week.
Oh, nice.
I'm excited. I like Todd. I've known Todd for a while, and their show is great. What's the game that made you think video games could be more than just casual entertainment?
I'm just gonna have to go ahead and say it, Fortnite. I mean, when I started really getting serious about gaming and thinking like about something that I saw as like fun and entertaining to watch, or that was something fun for me to do for other people to watch, it was Fortnite. And it was with you guys, like we kind of started playing and it was like, this is so fun. The vibe is so cool. People are really competitive over Fortnite and people love watching other people play Fortnite. The feature that lets you watch people play after you're dead, like that feature got me thinking about how much I like to watch that camera. I like to watch till they fucking die, but I'm like, get them. I can't wait till they die. But for me, that was like a big moment where it was like, if I'm so invested in watching this person meet their demise, like I'm sure these people are invested in watching me live if it's funny enough. And I wanted to create like a place where people could jump in, hang out with me, and they're gonna go, hey, feels like I'm kicking it with my best friend. Like I wanted my stream to feel like a place where if you jump in and you're watching me, you're not watching this like super hyped up production,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not Ninja. I don't got G Fuel tanks in the background that I'm sipping from while I'm playing my games, but I want you to feel like you're coming in and we're kicking it, and your mom's about to scream downstairs if we want some snacks.
You're not bathing in a pool of Red Bull with your ninja sneaks on?
No, I am not currently. Not currently. I might tomorrow.
That's fair. My ninja sneakers are in the mail, so I'm not wearing them tonight. Sorry, guys. My hair is also not blue because under this hat I have no hair. So, that's how it goes. It's
that goes sometimes.
But yeah, I mean, I kind of started realizing gaming was more than just a casual hobby when games really started to tell, stories that were interesting, and it wasn't just Mario moving right to left, or left to right to left, whatever. Depends on what game you're playing. But games, I've always preferred games as my entertainment of choice.
Yeah, same.
I get kind of bored watching movies. I get kind of bored watching TV, and even if I am watching TV, I always have, my Switch in my hand or my laptop open with a show on while I'm playing games. It's more of a background noise, secondary thing.
But when you get older and have kids, it's easier to meet up with your friends that way too.
Yeah.
Like you're a parent, you have a young toddler,
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 toddlers and an 11-year-old. When you get to like a certain age, you're not going out clubbing to meet up with your friends. You're not catching concerts because you're not just dropping your kids off with anybody. And then it's like, man, I really want to meet up and hang out with my friends. And where can we do it? Games.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just this way of keeping more contact than a phone call or a text message. It's this way of really spending quality time together. And then you're like team building and all kinds of stuff. So it's really a great way for people to just vibe with each other when you feel isolated.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, gaming's always, even without kids, that's always kind of how it's been for me. It's been a social thing for me. I'd go over to my friend's house to play Destiny. We did that. We used to go over to my friend's house every Wednesday night and play Destiny every Wednesday night. And we did that for 3 years. And, that's kind of like between that and like the rise of Twitch and I guess YouTube to an extent was kind of pointed to the fact that games were more entertainment, and even if people weren't playing games, they were still consuming gaming content and still, interacting with games in a different way than just playing them. And, I have some people that I watch on YouTube, right? But it's more like the rise of Twitch and Mixer and how those content creators can interact with you in real time, and like the community aspect of that has been a eye opener for me, and in that respect.
Yeah, same.
But even games that tell real stories now, you get stuff like
look at The Witcher. Look at what is it, Hellblade? I mean, there's like so many different
and
things you can jump into, and it's a whole world.
Yeah, and even smaller games like Life is Strange or the Walking Dead games, or even something as big as The Last of Us, right? Telling these really intricate stories that
are very highly emotional.
Yeah, and a lot of the time better than what you are watching on TV. And I think with
some of your favorite actors from TV. Let's not forget that.
Right. Yeah, and you become more invested in these characters because you're interacting with them too sometimes, and it's like that's kind of where games kind of became more than just casual entertainment. And Edward sent over a couple questions, because he was going to interview you tonight, but he had to work, so I'm here. Hi. He says, how powerful is streaming and connecting to others around the world, and how important has it been for you to connect with your community?
I think I was not prepared for what community was going to mean, like when you and I started, right?
Mm-hmm.
Versus like where I am now, which has been kind of crazy growth,
Yeah, every couple days you're like, I hit this milestone, this is crazy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if like I just I was like, I should have kept should have just kept streaming.
should have just kept going. I mean, it's just crazy. It's like, I had no idea about Discord, right? Like, I mean, I didn't even set that up till way late in the game. I wasn't using a camera. I wasn't doing anything. I was just playing games thinking I was going to meet a couple people and maybe kick it. I was thinking, we started at the end of September, if you remember. It was like beginning of October, end of September.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool. Hopefully by June, I'll have maybe 300 followers. I'll get there. That was my goal. My goal was 300 followers, and I'm almost at 1,300 followers.
Yeah,
it's been crazy, and my community is amazing. I've got a community manager now. Her name's Enchilia. She's insane. She does everything. She manages my stream. She comes through this. I've got a team of mods. I mean, modding is like a job. Okay, they are showing up because they believe in me. They believe in my content, and they want to support and make sure people don't come in and aren't shitlords.
Yeah,
it's just, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And the fact that people want to do that for me is mind blowing. But I've connected with these crazy people. I mean, I've got half my communities from Canada. They're all taking maple syrup shots and riding moose. I've just met these incredible humans that I would have never have met otherwise, who are just super supportive, and they're there, and they're they love what I'm doing, and just still every time I get another follower, I'm like, y'all really want to be here? This is lit. And the Discord now is crazy. Everybody's always checking on each other, and it's this big family. So community has just moved from this, hey, I have followers, to hey, I have people who are encouraging and supporting me. They're donating financially, their time. They're putting in hours and hours. I've got people with 100+ hours in my stream. What the heck? It's wild. And what that does for somebody like me, I mean, I have lupus, as you know. So I have chronic pain and chronic illness. And I never thought, when I did this, how much it would help me, how much it would just help my person. I just feel I get so much out of it. I get up, and even when I have a crappy pain day and you want to just cry and throw everything away, and then somebody will send you a message and you're like, I gotta get up, and then I stream and I feel great. It's not just this superficial, hey, I've got followers, now could I get some clout, thing. It's I've got family members, and I'm sharing stuff that I love with these other humans, and it's pretty rad for me. Some people, I guess they get jaded at a certain point, and it doesn't seem like that. But for me right now, I love all of these people that are in my life, and community is everything to me. And growing that community has definitely been a journey from a noob who didn't even know how to operate Discord. So,
Yeah.
keeping a Discord going
it's hard. It's tough.
Hard. And we didn't hit our stride with our Discord until January, I'll say.
Yeah. We have a Discord, and like it's tough because like we've been trying to be more active on Twitter. I mean, we don't really care about our Facebook community. I mean, we care about the people that are in it, but we are not as active in the Facebook stuff just because we don't use Facebook as often, right? We've tried to limit it to Twitter, and now we're trying to build the like our Discord up, and we have an Xbox community on Xbox as well. You know, I don't really know how people kind of interact with that stuff, but you know, we've just been
Twitter's your best bet.
Yeah,
Twitter's it, and TikTok. Let me tell you something. Okay, so I'm gonna be real. This is my pro tip.
Tell me about your TikTok.
Let me just tell you. TikTok changed our Discord game. Changed it. It went from a dead Discord. We had people that literally were talking trash about us in somebody else's stream one day. People shall remain unnamed. And said that we had a Discord that was a ghost town. Right? On someone else's stream, they said this. I posted a TikTok about my turnip prices and Animal Crossing. It went viral, got like 2,000 something hits. All these people, we told them like, hey, join our Discord and we'll talk about Animal Crossing. And Animal Crossing ignited our community.
Yeah.
It became something that blew up, and all of a sudden we had new people jumping in the Discord, and all of a sudden we had these things to talk about. And then Gathalion shouted out my, dodo code to my island. Shout out to Gathalion, who shut down my entire Nintendo Switch.
Gathalion, man, that's so cool. Like, out of all the streamers that are like really major players right now, Gathalion is definitely
he's a really cool dude.
My favorite. Like
it was just random though. I mean, he's sitting around playing Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
That's how
you should put in
Animal
a good word.
Crossing came at the right time. I feel like for a lot of things, but it ignited our Discord. It brought us all together. And then from there, we started to realize like TikTok was a fun way for us to get fresh people in and meet them. And it was a whole different level of content creation that we hadn't thought about. And Bug makes great TikToks. BattleBug, guys, if you guys are looking for BattleBug on TikTok, you should look for her. She's trying to get TikTok famous. She comes up with these well thought out things, and we just started playing around on it. And every time we post a TikTok, we meet new people. And it's not like we're meeting like 5-year-olds, we don't got a bunch of 5-year-olds joining our Discord. We're meeting other people that have funny things. And TikTok's algorithms are made to suppress chubby black women like myself. So like, it's not the best for me, but it does. The people that it's brought in have become these integral, like some of them have created now. They're creating art for my merchandise. Like some of these people have become integral people to our community at this point. So It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. By the way, you should put in a good word for me with Gathalion, because I would really love to do one of these with him too. But
listen, he just shouted out my dodo code.
No, you guys are best friends now.
I've never met him before.
No, you guys are best friends now.
I didn't even know who he was, and he asked for turnip prices, so I went in his stream, and I'm not a person who watches a lot of white male streamers. I'm just gonna say it. Like I'm not out here like, ooh, let me give more white men my views.
Yeah, look, Gathalion's like me. He's about as generic of a white guy that you can get. He's
also chill, but I went in there and he was like decorating his house, and we were just chatting it up, and people were asking for turnip prices, and I set mine out there, and I think it was in the beginning of Animal Crossing where nobody had like really crazy high prices.
Yeah.
And it went nuts. It went.
Yeah. Surprised your Switch didn't catch on fire.
Bro, my Switch shut down so many times. By the end of the day, I was so worn out. I was so tired. But, like, I was making so many cool new connections. It was this whole new way of networking,
Who knew? Animal Crossing.
Who knew? But, I mean, it works. Every time we've ever done it, we've gotten at least 5 to 10 new people in our community. So,
I mean, that's awesome, though. It's cool. I'm every time we talk, I'm just thoroughly impressed at what you've built and you and BattleBug have done, and like it's just it fascinates me, and it is super impressive. And I mean,
I knew nothing. I mean, I went into this.
No, I know it. Like
I went into this with no Twitter, no nothing.
It's it's just, man, what you guys have done in like less than 6 months is just
the time, though. It's a time thing. A lot of people, I don't think they see how much time we put into it. When Bug and I aren't live, we're throwing back and forth ideas, like you said, trying to see what sticks. Some of our best inspiration comes at 3 a.m. phone calls. Then behind the scenes all day long, I'm in meetings with my new community manager, Leah, and we're trying to vibe out like what's going to go next with my channel or what I want to do, or, I need to be, she's on to me about posting to Instagram or doing this. And like, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing now, that was there before, but it's this thing I love, and I never knew I'd love so fiercely.
Yeah. And it's like you said, like it even when you're not live, you have to be in some way or another, like whether you're creating something like merchandise ideas or like I've been designing our merchandise, because I mean we're coming up on pretty big milestones for all of our shows, and when we hit that milestone, we're planning to launch some new things, and I've been designing like new, not new logos, but like logos for merchandise and kind of memeable stuff. Like I got memed the other day. Did I tell you that?
This is amazing.
It was so exciting. Somebody who watches us on YouTube, he was pretty nice about it. He said, like, Ed and I were talking like during a pre-show thing or whatever, and I was doing all these like stupid faces, like, oh, and he made all these like, well, it was like it was an Assassin's Creed meme. It was like when you hope. I'll have to send it to you. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But he emailed it to me first.
I think I saw it. Did you share it on Twitter?
I think I did. Yeah, I got memed. Yeah, and it was like the face you make when Assassin's Creed Valhalla gets announced, and it was cool. It was cool. I felt like once you get memed, you've made it.
You've been memed.
Yeah, but anyways, what you guys have built is super impressive, and I'm really proud to say that. I was there at the beginning. Yes.
You were the one who introduced me and BattleBug.
Yeah.
You said, I think you guys will like each other.
It's true.
And now we're an inseparable duo. It's
very true.
You did that. Whenever people ask us, we're like, Corey introduced us. Corey is like the best networker of streamers. And then Corey just disappeared on us. But like, he's literally a stream matchmacher.
Yes. I mean... I disappeared from streaming, but I didn't disappear from the internet. But you didn't
disappear from us. I mean, you just changed your direction of your focus. I mean, you realized like, okay, streaming I like, but like podcasting is a passion, and you have grown this from where you were to now is incredible. Like,
yeah,
it's incredible.
I mean, with the things that happened with the old group I was a part of, and like having to build something new from the pretty much the ground up was like, I mean, I'm sure you've hit this part before, but like, do I really want to do this again? Do I really want to like start over, and that was...
I'm doing that right now. Like with this Twitch, diversifying my content, came over to Twitch 3 days ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
24 hours ago, I think.
Yeah. And
it's very scary. I didn't get the reception I was hoping from everybody. Some people DM'd me and were like, are you quitting? Are you, like, it was like this whole thing. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm diversifying my content, which as a content creator, you don't want to shut yourself off from that potential.
Yeah.
But also this is my career goal now. And if you look at the numbers, let's just talk numbers. So a new report came out, Forbes magazine, less than a week ago. Mm-hmm. Online streaming is up 101%. Surprise, right? Mm-hmm. Because of coronavirus.
Right.
Twitch is up 102% or something.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube is up 67%. Facebook gaming in a very specific sector of mobile gaming, I'll say, is up 128%. Mixer's up 0.2%.
Mm-hmm. And that's even after grabbing all these huge names like Shroud and Gathalion.
After they've spent an insane amount of money on people. And so while I love Mixer, that's my home, that's where I want to be, that's where I want to spend my time, I also need to think as someone who's made this a career, because this is my full-time job, as you know, like this is my job. So like this is my career. So what do I want to do? I want to stick with what I've already started, first of all, on Mixer and continue driving towards partner because that's the direction our vehicle's been heading. But I also want to, while we're driving towards partner, look at making sure that my content is digestible for as many people as possible and as many avenues as possible for revenue and for being seen. Because that's what any smart business owner would do. It's like putting everything in one basket. You just don't put everything in one basket. It's an old saying for a reason. And in the days where you can consume media in so many different places, to try to hoard my media to one place would just be unwise. Mm-hmm. So I've started doing it. All your other favorite content creators do it. Ninja has an insane TikTok. He's actually really clever on TikTok. I can't stand him on Twitter. I don't really care to watch him on Mixer a whole bunch. But like his TikToks are freaking hilarious. And people make YouTube videos and people make, Facebook stuff. And for me, I'm like, okay, I'm going to move some very specific content to Twitch. So I'm moving my Grand Theft Auto to Twitch. Mm-hmm. Grand Theft Auto is not a huge sell for me over on Mixer. It's just not. Mm-hmm. GTA RP is just not the type of content that gets really well digested over on Mixer. Like, it's just not a huge thing, but it's really big over here on Twitch. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to move that content exclusively to this platform. Mm-hmm. Therefore, doesn't fudge with my Mixer numbers. And it also gives me a place to grow and create a community on this platform. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to move over some of my small nerdy games, like my Honeycomb Studio games. My little weird dating sims and stuff over here where they do much better because discoverability on Mixer for smaller games is close to none. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's
smart.
That's really smart. Like, that's what we're actually having a big, pre-launch team meeting this weekend, because we're about to launch a PlayStation show. We're about to launch expansion pack, which 1v1 will be a part of that package. And we want to do, live shows don't do well on Mixer.
No.
Live talk shows do amazing on Twitch.
Correct.
Competitive gameplay does well on Mixer. So we're having all these things where okay, Jesse and I started this show, What's on Game Pass, where we pick a random game on Game Pass every week to play and stream after our Xbox podcast.
Right.
And what we figured out is that stuff does really well on Twitch. Doesn't do well on Mixer. For us at least. It's
so different, and you have to change up your content based on that to be successful.
Yeah. But if we're playing Call of Duty or if we're playing Apex Legends or we're playing something competitive,
fantastic on Mixer.
Amazing on Mixer. Amazing.
Yeah.
If we're playing when we were playing Blackout, now I guess Warzone is the big one, but
that's my jams.
When we were playing Blackout, we got a ton of followers on Mixer. Right. Yep. But when we were playing smaller games, like when I was streaming Zelda or Fire Emblem on Mixer, nothing, 0.
And I've built up some directories. I've done, in spite of my weird games, this, I've built quite a following playing my weird games, mm-hmm. but that's in spite of the platform. Mm-hmm. I did that in spite of the platform.
Yeah.
And I have reached this point where I'm I don't want to do it in spite of the platform. I just want to find a platform where it's well handled, where it's well received, and I just want to create it for that platform.
Yeah.
Because I'm starting to realize not everything is for everybody all the time, Mm-hmm. So why don't I make my content able for the people who are interested in finding it easier for them to find?
Yeah.
It's just smart business sense, because I'm starting to realize that streaming has become more of a business for me. Mm-hmm. it's a passionate way for me to be in business, like with myself and with BattleBug, because BattleBug and I are, launching a website. We're making merchandise. Like, this is now, money. BattleBug and I have looked at this, and our brains are in the same place. When we talk about stuff, we have these meetings between the two of us, and it's like, this is what we want to do. This is what we love. This is our vision. And that's why her and I, have been the two, as you know, we had other people that were with us, and they veered off in their directions because they didn't have the same GPS that her and I have. They didn't have the same goals that her and I have. And BattleBug is so smart-minded when it comes to this sort of thing, and she has so much passion, and she has so much creativity, and we just vibe, maybe 5 a.m. when we're vibing about what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Because we haven't slept, because she has a trash sleep schedule, and I get pulled into it because I love her, but
yeah. She's in the chat, by the way.
Oh, is she? Okay. Yeah. But we vibe, and that's what we do. We've just grown it into this thing where it's like we've grown this little thing of love, and we've turned it into this passion that's now becoming a career for the two of us.
Yeah, I mean, that's the same thing with me and Ed, right? Like, I'll go to bed early and he's up late, right? But sometimes at 3:00 in the morning, I'll wake up and like we'll have a full-on conversation for a half hour. Then I'll go back to bed. But like we're always like, it's good to have that, number two, not like, it's good to have that partner in crime to throw ideas off of. And when you guys are both passionate about the same things, it makes it a whole lot easier and a whole lot
my husband's pretty much used to the fact that she's around no matter what time of day or night.
Yeah, that's what my wife says. She's like she'll see me on my phone or something. She's like, "It's Ed, isn't it?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "I think you talk to him more than you talk to me." I'm like, "Yeah, that might be true."
It's true. She's the person like at work that you're like always with 24/7. They're like your like work husband or work wife.
That's like exactly what she just said in the chat. I'm Zombie's work wife.
Oh, she is. But it's like, it's not even that, because I mean, we're so much, our friendship's so much bigger than that. But like, it is, and she's the one who encouraged me to like diversify myself to Twitch, because I was holding back from it. Twitch is, it's a lot for a person of color, and it's a lot for a woman. Like, I'm very scared of some of the stuff on Twitch. So this is me entering into this as a content creator and being very hopeful, but with a lot of trepidation, you know?
That's actually a great segue. I'm going to get into some of these community questions that are actually geared specifically towards, exactly what you're talking about. Megan Green, longtime fan, longtime listener, she writes in and she says, being a woman, was it hard to get started in streaming? The industry, though vastly improved over the last decade, is still mostly dominated by men. How do you set yourself apart from the rest?
I'll tell you this. BattleBug and I have a very specific image of who we are as women on any platform, okay? You're not going to randomly tune in and find out that you're looking at a whole lot of cleavage, unless like we're dressed up in some sort of ridiculous costume for some specific reason. But like, we have very specific goals about how we want to represent ourselves and set ourselves apart from what people perceive women to be in streaming. We don't use our womanly wiles, even though we could. We're cute chicks. We could do it, but we don't. We don't use that. That's not what we do. We're based off of body positivity. We're not here to feign anything. We're not here to entertain you with our body. We're here to play games and be competitive and create good content. And that's the focus. It's not sex work disguised as playing games. It's not anything else. You're going to get what you're going to get from us. And as a black woman, I walk the line even further. It is harder as a woman to get pulled further up on these, things without showing a lot of body or portraying yourself to be like super ditzy or all these other things. Like, we don't have those gimmicks that come along with a lot of, people who want to create content and they play these characters. We are ourselves all the time. We are two women who are focused on uplifting and bringing other women, up with us. And it's not because, you're going to see us in skimpy shirts. Half the time I would like to be a lot more comfortable and wear clothing that's a little more comfortable, but I don't want that perception, like, in my stream. And BattleBug doesn't either. It's just something that we find, not our vibe. If you want to do it, more power to you, but it's just not our vibe. So we've been working really hard to make sure, like, people respect us and they respect women and they respect, who we are and what we're doing while we're streaming, because we want it to be that's our whole thing. Welcome to the chat, everybody. I'm now seeing your chat.
I know, there's so many people.
But as a Black woman, that it is hard. Black women make up a super small percentage of streamers on any platform. We make up, it's harder for a lot of things. I just got some really, disheartening news on Mixer. Some of the Black content creators on Mixer were talking about, records and subs and all kinds of stuff. And, of course, this is what I'm looking forward to is partners. So I'm looking that direction, and I'm looking at other creators on there, and I'm seeing that, no Black Mixer partners ever had over 400 subs, whereas, some of the white Mixer partners are looking at, 1,600 subs a month, plus, 2,000, 5,000 subs, and that can be very discouraging, and then a Mixer partner just, I think 2 or 3 days ago, hit 1,000 subs as an African-American content creator. He's a huge partner. Huge, and he's Black. And so knowing that he's a Black man and he's having those issues, me being a Black woman, even smaller on the platform, you know what I'm saying? It can be very daunting.
Yeah.
But it's also something I just say, F it, I'm gonna keep rolling, and I'm gonna do this in spite of it. And I've kind of just been trucking that way, as you know, since I came in the game.
Yeah.
I try to focus on highlighting other streamers of color. I try to support other streamers of color. I try to support other women. Most of our mod squad's going to be women. We've got a couple of men in there. Thank God we've got a couple of really sweet, empathetic, feminist men who, back us up. But, we try to support who we are and see ourselves reflected back in our community. And I very much feel that in our community,
Yeah. Definitely. And I know there's a few people on Twitter, Ray, obviously, you were on our show, and I kind of, you and him kind of hit it off on our show. And
I love him.
Khalif Adams from Spawn on Me I know that he focuses a lot on that, but I love him dearly. It's important to recognize that, and we have a question here from where is it at? Let me see. I have a question that leads right into this. It's not in any order, but where is it? Jeez. All my questions are going to be out of order now. Is it this one from Marshall Malone, which is Deshaun's brother? He says, "Hey guys, I'm writing in because I'm happy to see some more representation on the shows. Ed and Ray, along with Zombie, and your guests have been such a good thing, and I am proud to be a fan of y'all's work. Zombie, I have a question for you. How important is it to have people like Corey, Jesse, BattleBug, etc., aka supportive white people, supporting you? I don't want it to sound like a dig on white people, but do you think it's important for more than just black people to be proud of the black gaming community? Thanks for being you. It means more than you know. Also, hey Corey, love the shows."
That's so dang sweet. Okay. So it is so important, and this is something actually BattleBug and I talk about, because she is straight up my white ally friend on a lot of racist posts in Facebook groups, unfortunately.
Yeah. So
we were in a Mixer streamers group, and that group is just super filled with rife with racist crap, and it's so many people taking part in it. It's kind of disgusting, and it made me feel really uncomfortable, and I can't explain what it means to me to have my white ally friends be there and I not have to turn to them and say, "Stick up for us." You know what I'm saying? BattleBug, anybody I know will call it when you see it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And BattleBug does not shy away from it. It's one of the reasons that she is like such a good friend to me. If she sees it, she's going to call you on it. Now, you think she's all sugary, but you go ahead and you say some racist crap around BattleBug and see if she doesn't call you on your privilege. And it is important because at the end of the day, the only way we're going to continue to make progress and to fight and to do that kind of stuff is to have our white friends and our white allies here with us, because our voice gets drowned out regardless. No one's listening to the oppressed half the time, even if we want to be as loud as we want to be. But listening to other people of privilege acknowledge their privilege and push for us to be in the same spaces as them is such a valuable thing. So for me, it's so important to have a community that is diverse and a community that's not just filled with, I could be just in an echo chamber of blackness, I could surround myself with that. But for me, to be in an echo chamber of like-minded souls, my community is a safe space for people of color, for people of any gender, for people of any sexuality. Like, my community is just a loving, supportive community. You can come in here and be who you're going to be, and there will be people in there that will speak up for you, because no person should spend their whole life and their whole time being emotionally exhausted, defending themselves, So that's really important. That was a really good question, though.
Yeah, I mean,
and disabilities. You're correct.
I can't even try to sit here and pretend that I know what you or Ray or Khalif or Ed go through when they're doing stuff online. And I know some people are more popular than others, and the more popular are, obviously, the more trolls you're going to get, or the more just nasty people out there that you're going to get. And I can't pretend to even know that, which is why I want to be supportive of the people who do go through that, right? And
yeah, I was worried I was never going to get mods or have people that cared enough to mod for me, and it was more scary for me thinking about getting bigger without mods, because I thought, how many times is somebody going to jump in my chat and say the N-word? How many times are people going to come in my chat and attack me for being a woman, already? They're going to attack me for being not thin, right? And then they're going to attack me for my blackness. And while I could, be less fat, I'm never going to be less black. And so, every time I turn on my camera, I'm uber aware of my blackness, and I get really anxious. It's why, I've been kind of scared about coming to Twitch. I'm look, the last time I was on Twitch, I was basically run off this platform with people just using the N-word, and it was so hateful, and people doing stuff. I was really scared about coming back to Twitch because I was scared. But I'm in a different place now. I've got really great mods. I've got mods on Mixer that they catch it. They catch everything. I've got friends who helped me set up bots now that catch anything anybody might not be there to catch, and I feel so much better about myself because I have so many good friends who are lifting me up. I've got the mods mean everything to me as a black content creator, and especially the fact that I have a crew of white mods. You know what I'm saying? They're there.
Yeah.
And that just means a lot. I mean, they know that they're going to see somebody doing these things, and they're there anyways.
Yeah. Just even the little, things that have happened during our shows, because of Ed, I've banned people for saying things, right? I don't really, it's awkward because I don't know if I should tell Ed about this stuff after it happens or whatnot, but I don't want our community to be that way either, our community's always been really supportive, and we have a lot of mixed, races and sexualities and stuff that watch our show and enjoy our content, which, is great to have. But you do get those random people that pop in and say nasty things, and you have to ban them or block them or, get rid of them. And it's.
And let me tell you something, handling that has become a very big part of my walk, I'll say, as a content creator too.
Mm-hmm.
Because I used to think, like, not handling it, like, oh, let's not acknowledge this, like, piece of shit who came in to harass me. Like, so many people are so sugary sweet about banning people. They're like, all right, I'm sorry, bye. And I've started to realize, like, this is my chance as a black woman to, like, actually be like, get the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
You are not welcome in this space. You cannot just show up and fix your little fingers on the internet to call somebody fat, to call somebody black, to call them the N-word, to call them this crap. You get all the way out of here, because just nicely brushing them off to the side is not how we should approach racism. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. And for me as a black content creator, that doesn't work for me to approach it that way either. People are like, oh, well, you're always going to have trolls, and they're always going to get told to fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
Because handling racism, handling people talking about people's disabilities, my son is on the spectrum, like handling any of that lightly, it just ain't for me. And I see people talk about it, and there's like these, I love a streamer Twitter take, on things. I'm like, I just do this to trolls, and I'm like, I used to think it's tacky to like call out trolls, and like if it's just about me being fat, like whatever, like, but you're gonna talk about my blackness, I'm gonna open up on you. Mm-hmm. If you know what I'm saying, like I'm gonna open up and I'm gonna unload the clip on you live on my channel because you came to unload your clip on me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because when I see that word in my chat, when I see somebody whisper me something like that or hateful, you expect some sort of reaction. What you expect is that you're gonna hurt my feelings, but ha ha ha, joke's on you. I live in Mississippi. I'm pretty much immune to the N-word at this point. Like, you're not going to come in here and think you can get away with that. Not in my chat and not in Bug's chat. And if you think you've seen Bug mad before, come in her chat and use the N-word and see if Bug is nice to you about it, know? So I think that as a streamer, I feel more obligated now as a black woman on the platform who's got a voice to, like, call it out when I see it. Not be quiet about it and shush it under the rug because I want to make partner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I totally support that. I almost said I understand, but like for me, I don't understand, and it's I mean, I'm about as generic as you get as a a straight white dude on
Your
the
heart
internet.
is not generic.
This is where I'm at, right? But like,
you're such a good ally, Corey. You always have been, and you've always been a person who's like, look, I'm a white person. I don't know anything about this. You're very upfront about it, and
well,
I love that.
I don't, and like
that.
That's why when you were on the Boss Rush show a couple months ago at this point, and you and Ray were talking about it, it was so fascinating to sit back and just listen, because like I've never gotten to witness like an upfront conversation about something like that.
What it feels like to do it, and knowing that you're just under the microscope all the time.
Yeah, like with real people. Like, okay, you see news stories on TV all the time about stuff like this, but it's like, okay, I don't understand how much to believe, how much is like hyperbolic, how much is like pushed under the rug or whatever. But to have two friends sit and talk about it is like. And
I remember you saying it during that podcast. You were like, Ray, I've never heard you talk about it. He's like, well, I'm not around another black person when you're around, like.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, and Ed doesn't really talk about it either, and.
Because we don't have safe spaces really to discuss it.
Yeah. And
I can't even talk about it Mixer Streamers Network. If I ask for other black streamers to watch, I'm like, hey, anybody else black streaming this? It is a shit show, friend. Every racist comes a crawling out and is like, what about a white streamers group? And I'm like, this is a white streamers group.
Yeah.
It's a white streamers platform. You guys have the white streamer everything. Y'all chill out. Sit down somewhere.
Yeah. And I mean, that's...
I just want to see other people that look like me.
Yeah.
Calm down.
And look, I've been seeing, even in not just streaming, but on YouTube and games in general, it's always, the white dude that's leading the charge of the game, right? And like, only recently have we been seeing like women and people of color take the lead roles in games, and like being, even people who have disabilities in games, and Microsoft went through the whole avatar change system to where you could do all that too. And
in Animal Crossing, we now have wheelchairs.
Yeah. And it's important for people to see people that look like that. Like, I think
so important.
You were the one who replied to my tweet on Hollywood, right? The Netflix show. And my wife and I watched that show.
I love it.
I loved it. It was
BattleBug watching it now.
It was the best. It's the best show I've watched on TV since Mad Men, for me at least.
That's why I was saying BattleBug's mom would like it, because she loves Mad Men.
Yeah, and like it just I'm like, just look at how things could have been different if it didn't take this long for people to stand up for themselves,
and that's me right now on this platform, and that's gonna be me. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna talk about it. If it makes you uncomfortable, if my blackness makes you uncomfortable, you're gonna have to go somewhere else. I'm unabashedly black all the time, and the reason that I'm unabashedly black is because the world doesn't allow me to not be.
Yeah, and this kind of is actually a good transition into our next question from Ashley Davidson, another longtime listener of ours. She's been pretty, in her questions to us on previous shows, she's been pretty personal with us to feel that comfortable of saying things. But she says, "Hey guys, haven't written in a while, but I have a question for Zombie in particular. What's the most important message you have for people who need encouragement to be themselves? As the Boss Rush guys know, I am a white gay woman who lives in Alabama and has a black partner. It's amazing to see not only the Boss Rush community be so supportive, but also streamers and content creators like you to have influenced how we live our lives. Much love, Ashley and Monica."
That's very sweet. Shout out to Ashley.
So
I think it's important just to be myself. So let me tell you what I see when I look at the Mixer boards or the Twitch boards. I see a lot of black women who are very light-skinned, who wear a lot of wigs to look whiter, and they're higher up and they're thinner, right? They're the more digestible. Their blackness is more digestible, so they're higher up on the leaderboards a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's levels to this, just like there's levels to it in life. If you haven't seen, so there's a Netflix documentary out about Madam C.J. Walker, the first black female millionaire, on Netflix. I highly recommend you watch it. She was born to slaves, and she made hair products for black women at a time where it was the first generation coming from slavery. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Everything was Caucasian. Blacks were segregated, things were different. And she was dark-skinned, round, and considered, quote-unquote, ugly. But the mulattoes, a.k.a. the house slaves, were what people of color wanted to look like because they thought that was more acceptable to white people, right? And I think that's still very prevalent in my culture today with a lot of black people. We try to make ourselves more digestible to fit into society. It's why we have all these lawsuits about wearing even our natural hair. So for me, being myself every day and having a partner like Bug who lets me be black, she lets me talk about my blackness. She doesn't say, let's tone it down so that we can make partner. She doesn't say, she did stop telling me to use the N-word so much, but she did one time have a pep talk with me about it. But there are times where I'm going to have a nigga moment, and she knows I'm going to have a nigga moment, and she sits back and she says, it's against TOS, but she doesn't say, don't do it because, I don't want you to be this person of color. She doesn't try to suppress my culture at all. She doesn't try to suppress who I am. We don't whiten it up. We don't church it up in our streams either. She's never once pulled me back and said, okay, if we're going to go for partner, let's not be so black. Let's not, she's never told me to pull it in, and she's always encouraging that. She's like, well, you're a black person, you do this, and she knows, and I know, and I want to be this black, visible, loud, sad, chronically ill person. My whole stream is about my transparency. Yes, I have lupus. Yes, I'm a mother. I'm not just black. I am a mother. I am a chronic pain survivor. I am this. Like, I am this multitude of things, but all of this is still the summation of my blackness in my stream at the end of the day. I will never not be who I am to be successful, because there are little girls like my 11-year-old looking at me saying, where am I going to gauge myself? When I look at the mixer boards and I see who I want to raid, BattleBug and I cried, and she'll tell you, to find out I was the #1 ARC streamer. I've never seen a black woman streaming ARC and even make it. First of all, I'd never seen a black woman streaming ARC, which is my favorite game. But I'd never seen a black woman streaming ARC and been #1, and I cried about it. You know, like, that means a lot. You know, that those kind of milestones, they may seem kind of stupid to some people, but that's incredible to me, because that's representation, which is the entire thing Snack Squad started out with. And you know this. You were there in the boiler room of Snack Squad. Mm-hmm. Representation matters. Seeing people that look like you matters, period. And the only way that you would ever understand that, you know, if you're Caucasian, is if you never saw another white person your entire life, and all of a sudden you saw one in the wild. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. When I scroll through the Mixer leaderboards and I see a black woman, I pop in and I check her out. I'm like, holy crap, another black content creator. I get so hyped, especially if it's a female, you know, like, I get really excited. And those barriers are only going to become less of anything that holds me back the more I'm moving forward in streaming. I hope, you know, I hope so. I don't see other black GTA RP women. I'm the only black GTA RPer I've seen so far that's a woman. So, like, I'm loving seeing these little milestones for myself, and even though other people may not notice it, it's something that means a lot to me. And I know that it means a lot to other black people that are out there looking at these things.
Yeah. It's so important to do that. It's so important to be yourself, and, like, not to change who you are to accomplish a goal. I think that's what's...
I mean, you've known me the whole time. Have you seen me switch it up?
No, I mean, I have, but it's been the opposite way, right? Yeah. And this is Deshaun.
I got less scared.
Yeah, this is Deshaun's question. He says, oh yeah, my girl ZombaeKillz, I got a question. When did you decide to use your race to empower you on stream? I remember you not using a camera for the longest time, and then you embraced it. Love you guys, and wish ZombaeKillz was on more Boss Rush podcast content.
I love it.
We also wish Zombie was on more content, but she's she's busy. So,
I think, you know, there was that switch at like 700 for me.
Yeah,
and it was like, I felt safe. I felt like I had established a little bit of a community. I was really afraid for a long time. I was afraid people were going to focus on my blackness in a negative way. Mm-hmm. And I was afraid it was going to be just me fighting the trolls, and I was worried, and I needed more of a community. I needed more mods. I needed more things. I needed people to be invested so that it wasn't this, like, outward attack. And Bug was always super encouraging. Like, you know, she didn't believe in no-cam streamers, you know? She was like, no-cam stream? What the heck? You know, it's like so against BattleBugs. But even she said, like, at one point, she wrote this really cool article on Reddit, you know. Thank you, Sporos. She put this really cool thing out, and she was like, you know, I used to think you needed a cam to be successful, but my co-streamer no cam streams, and she's fine. You know, she's got the personality to do it. She's like, so, you know, I really just have to say it kind of depends on your personality. But, like, there came a point with Snack Squad where it's like, we're focusing on empowering women and representation, and how can I continue to do that if I don't show my face? And how can I continue to feel like super empowered with bugging them if I'm not, like, empowered enough to, like, get out there? So it started happening. And there are definitely days where you, like, you know, you hate it. And I got really hurt one time, and she probably remembers this. Somebody came in and was, like, talking about being ugly and stuff like that, and it, like, kind of hurt my feelings. I think you probably remember that.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it, like, hurt me really bad.
You were actually talking about stopping for a while because of that.
Yeah, and I thought about quitting streaming because it's just, like, I don't know what it was, but it stuck with me. So, I don't know. It was, like, this raw feeling. Mm-hmm. And then after that, once I pushed through that feeling, it was just like, they're gonna say what they're gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
No one's gonna like you all the time, and I'm not gonna be everybody's cup of cocoa. I'm just not, and that's okay, you know. But also at the same time, you can't let people bully you off of a platform. I got bullied off of Twitch when I first started at Twitch, and Mixer was starting to feel like home, and the camera came on, and then it became this thing where it was like, I don't just want to empower me, you know, being part of Snack Squad, being part of Sugar and Spice, Snack Squad's our community, obviously. Like, being part of that, how can I tell all these people to be themselves and love themselves if I can't just, like, buckle down and get in there for myself? So I did it. And I'll definitely say that it's made me feel much better. I feel more in charge of what I'm doing now than I did then. But I also feel like I had to kind of grow into it. I had to stretch my legs into it. I couldn't just jump into it. Being a woman of color, etc., I knew I was worried like it was going to lose me followers. I was worried that once they saw that I was this and that, they were not going to like me anymore. But I got to a point where I knew my content was going to hold itself, you know?
Yeah. No, and I was happy that you continue to do that and actually, kept up with everything. And it's important, like you said, it's important to show, like, if people want to look up to you, you have to face, that kind of stuff.
Don't look up to me, y'all. Like, I be doing some crazy shit. Like,
Wow.
I just want to put that out there. I am not a young person role model. I'm not. But, I just wanted other people. I just want a reflection. It doesn't have to be the best one, you know? It's just gotta be there.
Yeah. Well, I gotta tell you, everybody in our community asks for you all the time. So.
Well, I love y'all.
So.
All of y'all who are listening, y'all rock.
All right, Zombie. We're gonna finish up with some less serious questions here. For
okay.
What Tim H asks, what are some of your favorite recent video games?
Newer video, obviously Animal Crossing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess GTA RP is new to me. Like, GTA is obviously an older game, but it's like, the RP aspect of it is like a whole newer culture, and it's apparently, super insane. And, oh, thank you, Spore Rose. That means a lot. But I also think that, like, what's another good fun game that's new? I mean, Ark is like the love of my life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I mean, it's only like
every time you're like, I can't go back to Ark because I'll get addicted again, and then like a week later, I'm playing Ark.
I can't stop. Also, though, I will say, I've been perusing and trying like a couple different things. Later Daters is really great. Just saying, Later Daters is great. If you haven't played Later Daters, you should play Later Daters. It's good.
Aren't there like more chapters to that game coming?
I'm really excited. Like, I'm bated breath waiting for more Later Daters content.
That's so funny.
It is what it is. And also I'm really excited about Pikmin that I've heard that's like in the works because I love Pikmin.
Yeah.
So like I've heard it's in the works.
Yeah.
I'm waiting.
Supposedly Pikmin 3 is coming to Switch at some point. I think, let's see, Paper Mario's coming in July. I bet Pikmin is their August game because they're going to want September, October, November to be their Mario 35th anniversary special or whatever. But
I'm excited. I mean, I'm always seeing new stuff, and being a content creator, like, there's new stuff coming across all the time. Sims 4 is like releasing a new expansion pack I'm also really excited about.
Yeah.
It's coming out June 5th, and I'm really pumped about that too because I really like Sims. It's a really relaxing game for me to play. Like, it's kind of like my happy place. If I'm having like a mental health day, like, Sims really brings it back in for me.
Yeah.
And we do a lot of, Bug and I like to do Sims challenges, so that's definitely, something cool to, like, think of if you guys are thinking about trying anything new.
Yeah. Let's see. Megan Green writes in, who are some of the best female characters in gaming today?
Whew. I mean, I don't play a ton of games with like female leads. Like
I do.
I play games. I mean, I will say, let's say Last of Us, I mean, has a strong, fantastic female lead, and Last of Us 2, just from what I saw from the trailer, like, mouth on the floor. Can we talk about it? Like,
yeah,
it's going to be amazing. I'm going to dust off my PS4 just for that. Like,
yeah,
I'll dust it off, because I don't play it that much anymore, because all my friends are now pretty much on PC or Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll say Last of Us. I don't really play a ton of games that are story-driven anymore, and I'll tell you why. I'm a mom now, right? So my games have to be like in small bursts. I don't ever get to just sit down. And I'm the type of person, if I'm doing a story game, I've got to like play it all the way through. And playing in 30-minute bursts of a story game, it's so hard to like keep track of it.
Yeah.
And games have become such this community thing for me. Like when I'm playing something, I now want to be like communing, because especially during, the fact that I'm in lockdown still, because I have lupus, so I'll be chilling here for the next 2 years probably. But like, like game is just community based for me. So story games kind of go out the window. So I can't really think of that. But I like the fact that there are more like Valhalla. It's supposed to have like strong female leads in that game. There's supposed to be like a lot more games that are in development and works that I've seen that have stuff like that. It's just not really my jams at the moment, I guess.
No, that's fair. No, I get it. I haven't played a lot of like. If I want to play a game that's like in short bursts, it's either something small on Switch or something like Halo or Gears or
something that you could just churn through with people.
Yeah, and like maybe once a week I get a little bit of time to just play a game that I really want to play. Like I told you before we started recording, I'm playing Control right now, and I mean that stars a female character. Jesse Faden's pretty cool. I mean the Tomb Raider reboot is really good. Like I love all those games. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Cassandra is the only way to play that game. I mean, there's
you know more about it than I do. I'm not a story game chick right now.
Yeah.
Talk to me when I get more time. Once all my kids get to school, my 4-year-old starts school this fall, so they'll all officially be gone.
Yeah.
Talk to me then about if I could go back and start playing through some games by myself.
Yeah. I think anytime I have a chance to play as a female, I do.
I think that's true of a lot of male characters. Yeah. I see it on Ark. If they're going to spend thousands of hours, they want to spend thousands of hours looking at a female.
Yeah.
It's fairly common.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's less the sexual aspect for me and more like I've been playing games with the same character for so long, like the ball, like the shaved head guy with the gruff beard, like I've played that game so many times that like it's like it
feels just weak, it's no fun.
And I don't know what it is. I just prefer to play as a female.
If I can find like a game where I can be a black woman, I'm jumping on it. It's one of the things I love about Ark.
Yeah.
I can literally customize like my skin tone to realistic shades of blackness. Same with everything else. Now the hair texture is totally whack on Ark. It's only one texture, but whatever. But like any game where I can jump in and be a black woman, baby, best believe I'm gonna jump in and do it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't see it.
Yeah. All right. Jesse asks, I'd like to know if she has any great books she would suggest.
Yeah, actually, I'm reading Children of Vengeance and Virtue by Tomi Ademi, which is the sequel to Children of Blood and Bone. And it's a black fantasy novel. It's actually really good. So I love sci-fi and fantasy. It's like my preferred genre. Surprise. Like, surprise, guys. I like video games and sci-fi stuff. Surprise.
Whoa.
Surprise. I knew that was going to blow your mind. But I've been reading these books by Tomi Ademi, and I really like them. And I'm on the second one, and it's been a little while because, like, obviously I'm so busy with stream stuff. I'm not reading as much, but, like, I'm almost at the end of it right now. And all I got to say is the first book I blew through in 24 hours because I couldn't put it down.
Mm-hmm.
And the second book I've definitely been savoring it a little bit more, but it is so, so, so good. So I highly recommend it. It's like, it's a world where there's magic, and the magic people, the magi, are being, like, oppressed by a ruling power, but it's very unique story because instead of it, like most other novels, etc., where it's like one race of people oppressing the other, whether it be dwarves oppressing elves, you know what I'm saying? Like something like that. This is actually black people oppressing other black people in this book. So there's like this really interesting power dynamic that's just really unique. The way that they've obtained their magic is unique, and then the way that the story escalates is very unique. So 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Nice. What's that book series called again? Just in case somebody missed it.
Tomi Adeyemi writes Children of Blood and Bone, and the second book is called Children of Virtue and Vengeance.
All right.
Jimmy Fallon actually had it on the show. It's really good.
Yeah? Oh,
yeah.
Cool. And then our last question comes from, of course, Edward Varnell. You may have heard of him.
I love him.
This question is so ridiculous. I don't even know why I'm reading it. He says, if you could treat any game like Family Feud, which game would it be and why?
It would be Ark. 100% be Ark. Because it'd be a whole bunch of dinosaur questions. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would be good. I would be able to nail it. Like, BattleBug could not, because she's always like, you know that one over there? She's like, is this going to kill... BattleBug's whole time playing Ark, just so you know, is her running up to stuff saying, is this going to kill me? Is this going to kill me? What about this one over here? Is this one going to kill me? Is this a nice dinosaur or is this a mean dinosaur? Oh, it's a mean one. And then you hear, it's a mean one. It was mean. That's literally... She would lose Family Feud for us if we did it with Ark. She would lose it 100%. 100%. We would lose everything. But I have to say, like, Ark would be such a good one because of all the, like, you know, all the dinosaurs and stuff. Like, all the different dinosaurs and plants and all the other stuff. It would actually be, like, a really fun experience. Not for Bug. If it was for her, she would lose.
Oh, man. Well, that's gonna do it for this edition of 1v1. Zombie, I appreciate you taking the time to come here and
I love it.
tell me about your streaming life and how awesome it is, and you know how.
I mean, you know, we trying. Why
don't you let everybody know where they can find you one more time before we get out of here?
I am ZombaeKillz, ZombaeKillz on all social media. You can find me on Twitch. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Mixer. You can even search for me on YouTube, and I'll pop up in some of BattleBug's videos. But you can find me there, and you can also find my co-streamer BattleBug as well. You can find her BattleBugPlays on Twitch. You can find her on Mixer. You can join our Discord. Make sure you guys check us out. We're just, you know, two dope ladies trying to make it, you know?
Yeah, for sure. You can also find her social links in the description of this episode. We're going to get BattleBug on here at some point.
Yes.
I've conversed with her on Twitter about a week ago, and I need to get back with her about that. But she'll be on an episode very, very soon. But you can find me at I am CorianHD on Twitter and CorianHD on Mixer and Twitch. You can also find me on all.
You can find him on Mixer. Go ahead. We find him on Mixer.
Yeah, find me.
Just get on Mixer.
I need to find Mixer. I need to find you
on Mixer.
I need to find a Mixer so I can get on it.
Can you please?
You can find me on all of Boss Rush Games content, including the Boss Rush podcast, Nintendo Power Block, and Arsenal X, the Xbox podcast. Go to bossrushgames.com for all of our content, and you can subscribe to our YouTube page at youtube.com/bossrushgames. You can find all of our podcasts on your podcast service of choice, and remember to play games and be better. This has been 1v1. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, we love you.
Love you guys. Bye.